Thanks, Lisa. T-Rate, it's all right. It's okay. Thanks a lot, people. Oh, wow. I feel bad for Brandon now, really. Anyway, didn't he do well, really getting through that, coming up first as well. It's not easy, guys, getting up here. Yeah, I never know what I'm going to say, and then I start researching early, what's the history of ADHD? I might have it, but I know fuck all about it. But it's okay, because I'll just know what I do that helps me. And that's all I'm going to talk about, is what helps me and what doesn't help me. But first of all, I'd like to say thank you to Rachel, who is the creator of Nutritious Minds, and is just the most amazing friend, really caring and loving, and has been there for me throughout my whole journey since I got diagnosed. At least I've known since I was a wee nipper. We grew up together and we're great friends, and she does amazing stuff with putting on events like this, and I just feel really honoured to be kind of asked to talk, really, and to share my experience with you guys. So first of all, if I could get down there, I would, but does anyone want to put up their hand and tell me why they're here? You, sir, why are you here?
I'm here to learn about something I know very little about.
You're here to learn about something you know very little about. Okay? That's really good. You, hello. You're here to speak. Amazing. Shit. I'm so sorry. I didn't check the lineup. That was good. Hello, sir. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Paul.
Hi, Paul.
I'm here because my son is neurodiverse.
Oh.
And I've realised over the last couple of years I'm probably ADHD as well.
Oh, wow. Not being but that's quite late as well to find out.
Because we didn't know about those things in the 80s, did we?
Wow. This is your son? Hello, mate. What's your name?
Ewan.
Hi, Ewan. Nice to meet you. When did you get diagnosed, or are you still not sure?
No, I was diagnosed when I was 18.
Yeah.
We didn't know at all. We knew nothing about it. I went through secondary school, college, failed college because we couldn't focus.
Right.
And then we went to a psychiatrist for mental health.
Yeah.
And straight away he said you're moving, fidgeting a lot, you've been tested. And I hadn't. Went to get tested, and that was it.
You did the whole big 100 questions. Yeah. Wow. Wow, well, good for you for coming, appreciate that. And see, I'm just so glad that people are aware and seeing what we're putting out there to come and find out stuff, and well done for supporting him. And yeah, it's funny, when my mum and dad came to see a therapist, they both went, yeah, we think we've got it. And I was like, oh, and it's true though, they probably do. My dad's not hyperactive, but he definitely could relate. And my mum is bonkers. But she just handles it. She just deals with it with a list. She just has a list. That's it. No medication, just a list. And she ticks off those boxes, that list. And when she ticks it off, how good is that tick? I mean, it's the best, and it's a great feeling. I love a good tick. And I don't do it enough. I mean, a notepad and a pen is amazing, because you can write out a things to do list and prioritise. Because that's what I don't do. I don't prioritise. Hello at the back. Am I that boring? And I don't prioritise stuff, because I end up not wanting to go to the big thing that I need to do. The big thing that I need to do really needs to be done now. But instead, I'll buy another pair of trainers. Do you know what I mean? I'll get on the socials, like Brandon was talking about, that whole kind of phone thing. We're all addicts, man. I'm sorry to tell you. But the Western world has kind of made us that way. And it's really bloody annoying. And it's horrible to see it in my 7-year-old child. And when there's bad stuff going on, mum and dad not getting on that well because we're not together anymore, and he just wants to go on his phone and play a video game. And it's painful, because that's his way of escaping. That's all he knows. He can't voice what he really wants to say, which is, you guys sort it out. He can't speak. He just doesn't have the right words. He's frustrated. And I could diagnose him in a second. I wish I knew about this stuff back then. And I went through my whole early years of being tuned. Gabor Mate talks about tuning. The way we tune our kids is exactly what they'll probably end up like. So be careful how you're tuning your child, because it's not your fault, because you were tuned that way from your parents. And tuning is not put out there enough, but it's a really big thing. And I might be aware of it. It doesn't mean I don't do it. I wish I could just be aware of this stuff that I know when I'm doing talks, because that's what suddenly, oh yeah, remember, you know, I watched that video, yeah. Like, but it's just like, so that's that pause thing that Brandon was talking about in the morning. Hold on a minute. What am I doing for my recovery today? What am I doing for my ADHD today, my illness? What am I doing for this condition that I have to help myself today? Because instinctively, straight away, I will go to the phone to see who's called, what money's coming or not coming, you know, and did I really buy all that last night? Fuck. Now I can't pay my fucking bills. Like, that's the shit every day, and it's so hard. And I take medication for this stuff, and it's not the answer completely. It's a good little thing. It does stop me from wanting cocaine every day, but it's not the be-all and end-all. A magic pill, it's not limitless. Even though that goes pear-shaped anyway. But, you know, it really is like, and what's unbelievable is that I can take speed every day and it calms me. You guys, or whoever doesn't have this, will be off your tits, right? But it calms me. It's like unbelievable that they found this out in the 1960s. That actually, it hits the same receptors as cocaine does. No wonder why I did so much cocaine, because I just wanted to flipping calm down a bit. But when I took it to the extreme, which is what addiction does, because the underlying cause of addiction is ADHD and mental illness, is that if I knew about my mental illness, maybe I wouldn't have gone to rehab 23 times. Maybe I wouldn't have put my parents through so much shit all their lives, and then their ADHD or whatever like their stuff become worse. Like, I still haven't worked it all out. I know that when I play tennis, when I meditate, when I breathe, and when I'm calm, I'm much better. So why don't I do it more? I wish I did. But it's hard. And everyone can say, oh, it's really hard, but the brain wants to do things that I don't want to do. You know, and other people don't, but the brain wants to be, yes, I'll do it, yes, I'll do it, yeah, of course I'll be there. In the end, burnout. Again, Brandon talked about it. That's why I wanted him to go first. Because, you know, I just needed to be, like, woken up to what I suffer with. You know, he saved my life, that man. I spent a week on his couch eating vegan food. And I did it because a good person that he is put out his hand to me and said, I'm going to help you. And, like, that's what it's about. That's what fulfills me today. That's why I'm here today. Because I want to help you, whoever needs help. Because Brandon did it for me. And that's what this stuff's about, passing it on. The stinking thinking that I was talking about with my friend Paul in the car today is what I suffer with every day. My thinking tells me lies. It tells me that I want to get laid, I want to do cocaine, and I want a Ferrari, right? It's stinking thinking. It's a load of shit, right? At the end of the day, none of that's going to fulfill me. It isn't. What's going to fulfill me is being a good dad, is actually looking after my parents now they're getting old. Like, actually being able to afford to take them out for dinner. Like, that's going to fulfill me, not just keep doing what I always do, because, you know, we do what we always do, we're always going to get what we always got, you know? Or I'm going to get what, and I might say this and sound like I know what I'm talking, but it's action, isn't it? Like, I can talk a good talk, but if I don't put in the action, none of this shit changes. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. And it's really, like, simple, but complicated to me. Really complicated, because I'm tuned a certain way. My habituals are like to do that, to get her, to go there, to go clubbing, to go to Prodigy Sunday, to da-da-da-da-da. But I know that my history says that's a fucking bad idea, man. But I still want to do it. So I'm fighting all the time with this stuff. It was originally an anger illness. Like, that's what they found with ADHD. That actually it was anger, but really it was frustration. Because it's like the child doesn't know how to voice what's going on. So they're so frustrated, they become angry, then they act out. And you want to say, or I want to say, stop doing that. I told you to stop doing that. What are you doing? I told you to, come here, clean your room, blah, blah. And then they'll act out even more because we're not listening. So what about actually going, what's going on? Are you all right? Being on their level, so they actually think, oh, right, my dad's all right. He's actually really finding out if I'm all right and what's going on, instead of screaming at me to go and clean my room or do this or do that, which is what his mum does. So I try to do the opposite and try to really understand him and be there and ask how he's feeling and stuff like that. But I'll still will get angry at points because there's only so much you can take when someone's not listening to you and you're trying to give good advice and they think they know it all at 7. But at the same time, it's like if you just come down to their level and actually understand that they're acting out because they can't voice what they really are hurting from and really want to say. I didn't know what to say when I was 7. I don't even remember when I was 7 really that much. There was a lot of factors, Again, Brandon talked about cortisol, and actually it's a fact that addicts and alcoholics and people with problems have much more cortisol, which is the anxiety bit, the nervous bit in their brain, than normal people. So we have that to contend with. I have that to contend with. I'm constantly nervous. I'm shaking right now. But I know that I'm trying to do a good thing, and it's fighting that fear and fighting that anxiety and that kind of that nervousness. And when coming through it, like when I sit down after the talk, I'll feel so much better that I did that I pushed through. I felt Brandon when he came off, he was, because he has what I had, he suffers with what I suffer with. So we get each other, and we have to be around each other in recovery to help each other. It's the only way this stuff works, because when I try it on my own, all bets are off. I end up picking up the phone to the wrong person, So I found tennis. I used to play it when I was a kid, and I love it. And I tell you what, I don't think about my bills, I don't think about shopping, I don't think about cocaine, I just think about beating that guy opposite me that I'm playing. And I'm just in the moment. Mindfulness, I'm in the moment. And it's amazing. And afterwards, the dopamine comes out, the adrenaline, I'm like pumped. And even when I lose, I'm still pumped, but I'm angry pumped. That's familiar too. It reminds me of gambling. I used to really gamble bad. I used to go into the Ladbrokes and stuff, and like now they've got the things up on the wall so you couldn't see me in there. But I don't go in there anymore. But when I did, they didn't really have many of those big things that cover the wall, the windows. And I'd be on that roulette machine, boom, 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 and it, the lights and everything. And that's what my son's doing at 7 on the video games. It's exactly the same. And I'm putting in £20 notes, £20 notes, £50 spins. You can't do it anymore. That's why I stopped. It's not why I stopped. I stopped because I was going to, I could have killed myself over it. It was ridiculous. Why am I putting all this money in the machine just to lose? And I stayed until I lost every penny. Sometimes I won a couple of grand, probably my best win, maybe about 2-4, something like that. But the next day I put it all back. I put every single penny back. Might have bought a bit of coke, but that was about it, And then it'd be like, I've got £20 left, I've just put in 500. I can win. But what was familiar was the pain. The pain was familiar. The kind of, the losing feeling was familiar. The hatred feeling was familiar. That I am not worthy, my self-esteem, so I am such a piece of shit, was familiar. And it was just painful to see the people next to me, and I'm thinking, like what Brandon said again, is that they're much worse off than me because they just spent their month's wages. I'm an actor, so I might get a job tomorrow. They've got to wait another month on the building site to get there, But that's bullshit, because actually I was just the same. I was probably You know, no one's worse. Like, I was in the same headspace as them. And if I wasn't, then it was a yeah, and I was soon going to be. And I see people tipping the machine over, give me back my money. I'd go in there all high, and then I'd walk out like, wouldn't say goodbye, just fucking furious. And it reminds me of these phones, and what's so attractive is just that kind of, you know, the shopping, the apps, the everything, and it is so addictive. And I just think there should be like a rule, like no phones for like, you know, maybe no phone Sunday or something like that. I don't know. Like, something's got to change, because we'll all end up really, really bad if it isn't as bad enough at the moment. But what is positive about all this stuff is that since 2019, when I got diagnosed, it took about a year to get the right medication, and you know, I had some ups and downs since then, but overall it's been like the best 3-4 years, because I really have been able to recognise and see when it's starting to happen and see when it's worse than other times, and it's only by trial and error that I'll find out what works for me and what doesn't. So everyone is individual, and you know, and it is about kind of going for a walk, meditating, breathing, going just to be calm, taking time out from the phone, you know, playing a sport that you used to play, table tennis, badminton, whatever it may be, you know, just to be in that moment. Mindfulness is the most powerful thing, to be right here, right now, in the moment, which is what I am with you guys. Thanks for listening.